gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Colcast, your weekly podcast where I will be going over everything sports related. Now, this week we had a huge week of football. This weekend we have a huge week of football. Monday we have a huge game of football. But that is why I am here to go over everything. Now, we are going to start this podcast on a sad note. LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy was proven innocent today after sadly taking his own life earlier this year. It is very sad because it caused him to commit, and he was framed. He was proven innocent. He was around 72 yards from the crash. Really, really sad. Rest in peace to Kyren Lacy. At least his name, we now know he was not a part of the collision. So rest in peace to him. And another sad thing, former Super Bowl champion Arthur Jones passed away this week as well. Rest in peace to him. Really sad week for football fans. Kyren Lacy again was supposed to be a very early pick. And then of course him being framed screwed everything up, and he was proven innocent today. So at least he got his justice, but sadly he is not here to see his innocence. So rest in peace, Kyren Lacy. Rest in peace, former Super Bowl champion Arthur Jones. But now let's get into the more happy version of the Colcast. This past week, Apple Music announced your Super Bowl 60 halftime performer, and it is, drum roll please, Bad Bunny. I love Bad Bunny. I did not know why people are mad about it. I mean, he's a really, really good artist. I'm extremely excited to watch Bad Bunny. Of course, I don't speak Spanish, but I still vibe to his music. Yeah, I'm very happy. Congratulations, Bad Bunny. Super Bowl 60 halftime performer. That will be a really great halftime. Then, again, we're going to take it to a bit more of a not great part of the Colcast. We have a lot of injuries. Second-year wide receiver, top 2 wide receiver in the league, Malik Nabers, sadly tore his ACL this past week against the Los Angeles Chargers. And it's really weird because last time there was a really major wide receiver injury for the Giants, it was Odell Beckham Jr. and they were playing the Chargers. So prayers to Malik Nabers. That's also a crazy stat there, but nevertheless, Malik Nabers is out for the season. Hope that he gets better soon. Prayers to Malik Nabers, torn ACL. And then Tyreek Hill dislocated his knee. Tore I think every ligament. It's extremely sad. And he's not young like Malik Nabers. He's a veteran wide receiver. So that may be the last time we see Tyreek Hill out on a football field. So prayers to Tyreek Hill. But a really good thing is that Tyreek Hill's surgery was very successful, and he will not be needing any more surgeries, which means he will probably be back. Of course, he's out for the season, but he will be back soon, of course, after the season. But still, prayers to Tyreek Hill, but congratulations on a successful surgery. But it does look like he's a little happy to um, in a way, get out of Miami, as of course it is expected that the Dolphins will cut Tyreek Hill after the season. So that may be Tyreek Hill's last time we see him on a football field. Who knows? But after this news, it looks like Tyreek Hill will be back as on a new team, though. Lamar Jackson will be out for 2 to 3 games, giving the Ravens their new starting quarterback in Cooper Rush. Of course, Lamar suffering the injury during the Kansas City Chiefs game. Prayers to Lamar Jackson. He will be out for 2 to 3 games. CeeDee Lamb will be out again this week for week 5. Chuba Hubbard will also be out this week. Joe Mixon, they had the option to take him off the injury reserve, but they decided to say no. So, interesting situation for the Texans backfield. So we will see what happens with Joe Mixon and the Texans. Marlon Humphrey and Roquan Smith both will be out. And sadly, so will Jalen Ramsey. Made a big name with Pittsburgh in the first couple weeks, and then sadly is injured. Will miss week 5. I don't know how long he'll miss after that, but just expect Jalen Ramsey to be out for a little bit. Now, we get to go to some of the good parts of the Colecast. I promise you, the Colecast is not usually this sad, but usually there's not as many injuries as well. But here we go. Jackson Dart was absolutely incredible. He's exactly what the Giants have been needing. They made that smart decision, benching Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson for Jackson Dart. Decided to post a picture of Justin Herbert's girlfriend, Madison Beer, which is a crazy move to pull against the quarterback of the team you're facing. But luckily, Jackson Dart was able to back up his actions on the field, going absolutely insane against the Chargers. Now, of course, Justin Herbert didn't do as well either, but Herbert plays offense, and J Dart was playing against the defense. Jackson Dart did very, very well. His future with the NFL, with the New York Giants, is looking bright. New York picking up their first win over what was thought to be the number 1 team in the league, the Los Angeles Chargers. Ashton Jeanty officially back, bringing back his Michael Myers stance from college football. And Pete Carroll says that he loves it, and he is very glad that Ashton Jeanty has brought it back. And not only is Ashton Jeanty representing the iconic killer, but is indeed a killer on the field. 3 touchdowns, 150 yards for Ashton Jeanty. The rookie running back absolutely shined. But how about we keep it on the same track with rookie running backs? Omarion Hampton is back. I have him on fantasy in the first couple weeks. He really scared me. And the last 2 weeks I had him benched because I wasn't sure I couldn't trust it. But nevertheless, my fantasy team's not important. The NFL is important. And Omarion Hampton really, really showed out this week, last week. And he had an incredible play where he just refused to be tackled. He broke like 6 tackles. It was incredible. Omarion Hampton, congratulations to those Chargers fans, because at least you had something that was bright for your team this past week, and that is Omarion Hampton. As I said, rookie back. The rest of the season looking very bright. Of course, sadly, Najee Harris did get injured, but maybe that is what Omarion Hampton needed to get these points. I don't know. Prayers to Najee Harris, of course, but nevertheless, Omarion Hampton is really a key part of the Chargers offense. But again, let's keep it with rookie running backs. Cam Skattebo. Mr. will develop CTE soon, if not already has it. Loves using his head, of course. But he had 27 touches. He touched the ball 27 times in the Giants' big upset win. Cam Skattebo may be the number one rookie running back so far. It's definitely between Genty, Omarion Hampton, and Cam Skattebo. Cam Skattebo, he was really good. He's been really good. Loves using his head, as I said. Just rams right through the defense. So Cam Skattebo had touched the ball 27 times. I can't stop saying that. That is just unbelievable. But let's keep it with the Giants for a second. Jackson Dart, I did say he did really good. But the NFL also did really good. Because of Jackson Dart's standout performance, he now has the highest selling jersey. So NFL's getting some money from Jackson Dart's performance. But, of course, highest selling jersey after starting one game. Jackson Dart looked incredible, and so do his jersey sales. A.J. Brown, again, disappeared. It's shocking. A.J. Brown is usually very good. Against the Rams, he really was not bad. And then this past week, he vanished again, sadly. And I do not think he's going to get any better this week. Eagles play the Denver Broncos, and I'm, of course, going to guess that Broncos defense is going to be all over A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. So does not look very bright for that Eagles offense, sadly. Saquon is still pushing, but their wide receiver core is not. A.J. Brown will probably not ball out this week. Didn't ball out last week. A.J. Brown is quickly going down the hill. But, Emeka Egbuka, a new positive wide receiver, also a rookie wide receiver, is definitely the wide receiver one in Tampa Bay, and maybe the wide receiver one of the whole rookie class. Actually, definitely the wide receiver one of the rookie class. He's balling out, and especially with Baker Mayfield cleared to play this week, Emeka Egbuka should have another beautiful week. But I do want to talk about that Emeka Egbuka touchdown this past week. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know how insane it was. If you don't, I highly recommend looking it up. It was insane. Baker Mayfield run through the pocket, just threw it. Emeka Egbuka got it through like two defenders and took it to the house. I think it was like a 72-yard touchdown. It was insane. Emeka Egbuka is definitely a high fantasy starter. A.J. Brown is definitely not. Sit him. But Emeka Egbuka, if you drafted Emeka Egbuka in your fantasy, consider yourself a lucky one, which I am glad to say I have Emeka Egbuka on my fantasy team as well. So, of course, he's doing great. Tampa Bay is doing really great. Almost made a comeback last week against Philly. It was really close. But yeah, the Buccaneers look very, very bright. A.D. Mitchell with the Colts drop may have cost them a bit. Celebrated too soon, running in, dropped the ball. That was insane, A.D. Mitchell's drop. It should have been a clear touchdown, and he dropped it. It kind of cost him the Colts, but it doesn't matter. The Colts are still good. Indiana Jones looks incredible still. The Colts are definitely a good team, but so are the Rams, of course. So that was a great matchup there, but Colts, you can't say they're a bad team from that game. They're still very, very good. Brian Thomas Jr. isn't doing great this year after a really good rookie wide receiver season. He's not as consistent this year, but a wide receiver who didn't do good last year and is doing really good this year is Rome Odunze. He didn't do well in his rookie season last year. Came out of nowhere, top 3 wide receiver in the league right now. Rome Odunze, Chicago Bears. Rome leading the Chicago Bears. Saved themselves last game, getting that touchdown. But Rome Odunze, he is looking very bright this year. Dillon Gabriel is starting for the Browns in Week 5. Joe Flacco had another lackluster game, causing Dillon Gabriel to get the starting role. Who knows? Maybe we will see Shedeur soon. But, of course, Dillon Gabriel is starting. We will see how that goes. One of the Heisman finalists, of course, out of Oregon. So, let's see if he can do what he did in Oregon in Cleveland. Jackson Dart, I did say he was the highest selling jersey. Cam Ward kept it real when a reporter asked him about the Titans being 0-4, and he said, I quote, "We ass." Gotta agree with Cam Ward there. The Titans are not very good. The Bears have their new stadium. It looks pretty nice if you want to look it up. It's a pretty good stadium. They showed a little picture of it, a little peek. It is pretty good. The Bengals right now are the favorites to trade for Russell Wilson after their wide receiver core, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, after getting paid about $200 million each in the offseason. Not doing good this year. Definitely not $200 million wide receivers there. But Bengals might be getting Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson. So we will see how that works if Russ can come in and save the season for Cincinnati. Of course, Joe Burrow got turf toe. Will be out for around December, probably. So around 15, 16, 17, 18, he'll be back. But they, of course, it's Week 5. We have 10 weeks until then. And if they lose a couple of those games, they might not be making the playoffs. They need a quarterback. Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson, may be able to come in and help them out. Bills are unveiling their all-white jerseys tomorrow against the Patriots, their rivalry jerseys. Patriots are not a bad team at all. Patriots look incredible this year, but so do the Bills. Of course, Bills are always a good team. They're 4-0. They're the 1 seed in the AFC. Led by Josh Allen, which is one of the hot takes. Josh Allen's a good quarterback. I mean, obviously he is won MVP last year, even though I think it should have been Lamar. But gotta give credit where credit is due. Josh Allen did win the MVP. This is a podcast, so I will not be biased on it. Josh Allen is a good quarterback. The Bills are a good team, but I still think that the Chiefs will be getting the 1 seed this year. But we can only wait and see till then. But the Bills are going to play the Patriots tomorrow. That should be a pretty good game. I'm excited for a rivalry game. Jaden Daniels will be coming back this week, helping the Commanders hopefully make a little bounce back. Thursday Night Football, Kyren Williams. It was overtime. Rams stopped the Niners to a field goal. And as soon as they went upfield to score in overtime, Kyren Williams fumbled on 4th and goal, costing the Rams the game. Ball just got punched out. No excuse there. So yeah, Kyren Williams did cost the Rams the game of it, but it's okay. Rams are still a really good team. The injury Niners are really showing up. They didn't have Ricky Pearsall, Mac Jones, Juwan Jennings, and they still showed that they were a good team. I'm sorry, they didn't have Brock Purdy. They had Mac Jones. Now it is time to get into some statistics. Matt Stafford is leading the league in passing for his first 5 games with 1,503, 1,503 passing yards. That's really good for the Rams. The Rams look very good. Elite quarterback, elite wide receiver, definitely a playoff team there, and definitely a team to look out for. Of course, losing to the Niners on Thursday Night Football, but they're still looking really good, and the stats prove it. Jonathan Taylor leading the league in rushing with 414 yards for the Colts. Again, another key part of that Colts offense there. Colts are good. Jonathan Taylor is good, so it kind of flows. And Puka Nacua leading the league in reception yards for the wide receivers, 588. Puka Nacua is incredible, bouncing back from last season in his year 3 in his first 5 games, 588. So we got a lot of Rams, a Colt. So those are your stat leaders for week 5. So that will wrap up this week's episode of the Coltcast. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to review it in the next episode. Any hot takes, anything you want me to do in the next episode, just let me know and I will make sure to do as many as possible. But that was an episode of the Coltcast. Thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your day. And go Chiefs! Woo! And see you next time on the Coltcast.